My name is Russell Lookadu, President and Chief Strategist of H Architecture, the HR guy for small business. My firm exists to leverage my experience and expertise to help small business owners achieve their vision through effective use of their teams. Breaking news this morning, both California and New York have implemented work at home or stay at home decrees in response to the COVID-19 virus. Many businesses that are not designated as essential must determine and work with their employees at home if they intended to continue to operate. I believe this is a trend that may go in response to the virus national, although as of right now, there has been no decree from the federal government. Ongoing, I believe this is a bellwether event leading to remote work becoming the new normal. In the past, it's been a cool innovation, an attractive tool for recruiting and retaining employees, or a response to practical considerations for workspace. Remote work is now, at least in California and New York, a necessity. Many leaders, however, do not know how to manage people that aren't in their physical presence. That's what I want to talk about today. There are three areas that need to be considered. Those three areas are collaboration, accountability, and culture. Collaboration is that activity where employees can call on colleagues right beside them down the hall and say, hey, have you ever seen this before? Do you have any ideas? What do you think about? Well, there are software tools, technology available so that can continue, not the least of which is the telephone. But there are other tools that have been developed, such as Microsoft Teams, Asana, Smartsheet, Zoom, GoToMeeting, and Slack. There are many others, and new software is coming online every day to address this real demand. As leaders, we need to review the available options from technology, select one, and consistently train and implement your employees on how to use it. Yes, we have to learn new tricks in this new reality. Accountability, which is the ability for leaders to ensure that work is performed meeting timeliness, quality, and quantity standards. The fundamentals of performance management haven't changed. In fact, they're more important to set clear expectations, adding specific dates and times for check-ins and delivery. Secondly, feedback needs to be applied consistently, openly, and constantly using some of the tools we mentioned above so that employees stay on course. And finally, their results need to be evaluated so that they know how well they did, both in what they delivered and how they delivered it, which leads to the third consideration, which is culture. You as a business leader have worked hard to create a culture that makes your company different from the competition, attracting both employees and customers. So what and how the work is performed or the values that you have for your company need to be reinforced even more so when people are working remotely. We have to be reminded in the setting of assignments, the checking in, and the evaluation about the hows your business needs to be operated. Culture needs to not be ignored. In fact, it needs to be strengthened in a remote environment. There are three obstacles to successful management of these considerations: customer service, focus, and isolation. Customer service, unfortunately, is one of the first things that begin to deteriorate in a remote workforce. Leadership needs to be clear about the expectations and the requirements so that customers are totally unaware of where the employee is working. The customer needs to be sure that the employee needs to make sure that there aren't any distractions, such as other family members, television, outside noise, barking dogs, so that the customer, again, gets what they need without having to work through these things. How many times have you called into a company and there's so much noise in the background that you feel ignored and distracted? I recommend that leaders audit this, emphasize the necessity, but when they're calling the employees or calling on the employees, they pay attention to these background issues. The third one is isolation. Humans are a social species. Even the most introverted employee needs to be aware they're part of something larger than themselves and connected. Extroverted employees thrive on interaction. You take that away and they begin to suffer and become dissatisfied and disengaged. Leadership needs to pay very close attention to this basic need. I recommend that a team meeting is held daily no less than every other day, all hands on. And in that meeting, in addition to discussing the company events and work in progress and things like that, but you dedicate some time for what I would call office chatter. Go around the people on the call and ask them how things are going, what's going on in their personal life. Ask about their children and have everybody share an accomplishment or a challenge, even if it's not work related. What you need to do is use these virtual tools to replicate the water cooler or the break room. So it's important that you include that on a very frequent basis. One-on-one, I recommend that leaders talk to every single employee at least once or twice a day just to check in, answer questions, update assignments, and see if you can provide any assistance. Your goal as a leader is to make sure they don't feel cut off and the whole burden of accomplishing their work falls on themselves. Interestingly enough, leaders often create the biggest obstacles to successful remote management. The first one is importance. Often leaders feel like if they're not visible, if they're not walking around, if they are invisible, they become obsolete or irrelevant. Leaders need to step up their involvement with their team, in fact, because by being up remote, it's easy to be ignored. So the things that I mentioned earlier about the team check-ins, the individual check-ins, don't hesitate to send an email thanking people, showing appreciation, or offering to help. More visibility makes you more important, more integral to their day-to-day function. Finally, trust. I once read that if you can't trust somebody to work remotely, you can't trust them, period. Why do you have them as an employee? Well, in fact, you hired intentionally, and you hired people that you believed would be successful. Employees believe they are successful and want to be successful. So trust that. Trust the work you've done. Trust their intention. When you extend trust, you're trusted and performance increases. So watch your trust, watch your self-importance, and make sure that you are not an obstacle. I can be of assistance to you and your company and help you refine your HR skills and tools so that you can achieve success in this new environment. It's not going away. Please contact me and I can help create answers customized for your business. And have a great day.